So without further ado, let's get back into it. It's the final story. I almost don't want it to be over, but we gotta finish. Man, it's only 2 o'clock? No, wait. Hold up. Oh, I thought it was only 2 o'clock, but I forgot to set the clock back from earlier. It's like 4:30. I was like, well, it's not late as it's not nearly as late as I thought it was. It's like we've been streaming for 4 hours. I started at 12. Been streaming for 4 hours. It's only 2 o'clock. Wait a second. That math doesn't check out. All right. Anyway. Okay. You wrote to your maths. Damn straight. 2 by 2? What's 2 by 2? It's only been 1 day since Yuri's letter was delivered to Natsuki with Monika's help. Because Yuri chose not to attend the club meeting that day, she and Natsuki haven't faced each other since. Although it's only lunchtime, Yuri finds herself anxiously counting the hours until she will need to face the outcome of her efforts, whether good or bad. I kind of know what this the CG is going to be. I think it's going to be in the stairwell in the evening time, like as the sun's going down. It looks cute. It looked cute. It was a tiny little thumbnail on like the Steam page. So I was trying my best to avoid spoilers for this. But I'm excited to see it. Because I do love the relationship between these two. Because they're so similar and yet so different. Although it's only lunchtime, Yuri finds herself anxiously counting the hours until she will need to face the outcome of her efforts, whether good or bad. And because the passing by of students was making her feel even more anxious, Yuri picked out the most secluded spot she could find to spend her lunch. Because the staircase is under maintenance and has been for 20 years, no student would ever have any reason for coming here. It's such a relaxing feeling to have a moment of solitude in the middle of a frantic school day. Fuck! What are you doing here? I just... Yuri grips her book with enough force to wrinkle the pages beneath the pressure of her thumbs. Hardcover or paperback? Because she's wrinkling the paper with on a hardcover book, then damn. I imagine she hasn't opened it yet. Well, what are you doing here? I just came to get a drink from the vending machine. The other one is out of the drink I like. Yuri notices Natsuki. Someone just came home. Yuri notices Natsuki fidgeting with a few coins between her fingers. She nods, avoiding eye contact. Natsuki, also looking away, shuffles over to the vending machine. Okay, I hope we just spend this entire last side story the two of them sitting here on the stairwell, talking. If it just stays contained in this one area, it's like the one take scene, one location shot, I'm so in. I want that so bad. Natsuki also looking away, shuffles over to the vending machine. It's so quiet that every one of her movements seems to reverberate through the entire stairwell. After far too long, she finally receives her beverage, which she then fidgets with in place of the coins. Why is my mom texting me when I'm in the middle of a stream? Streaming... What? It's some kind of iced tea. But instead of leaving right away, Natsuki just stands in place. She glances all around her. It's like way too quiet back here. It's creepy. I mean, that's not what I meant, really. I mean, it's totally cool that's your thing or whatever. Like, I can see how it suits you, so... Not because I think you're creepy or something. I didn't mean that either. You know, I'm just gonna stop talking. That seems like a good idea. It's okay. Everything is okay. 1 second. Everything is okay. Yuri finds herself attempting some words of comfort after hearing Natsuki stammer herself into dejection. The two of words hard very much. The two of these two characters in particular trying to talk out their differences is fantastic. Drama! Yuri finds herself attempting some words of comfort after hearing Natsuki stammer herself into dejection. Seemingly in response, Natsuki approaches the base of the staircase and hesitantly why can't I read? It kind of possibly be that I've almost been streaming for 5 hours. Seemingly in response, Natsuki approaches the base of the staircase and hesitantly sits herself down near Yuri. Well, I can leave if you want. Yuri shakes her head. Natsuki twists the cap off her drink and takes a sip. Despite receiving Yuri's general permission, Natsuki doesn't say anything more. Yuri continues to read, or at least pretends to. And the two just sit there for a long time. The tension seems to fade a little bit as time passes. Even without any words, this seems to mean at least something, though it's not clear what that may be. Lunch ends more quickly than expected. Oh, they're gonna keep coming back to this spot and having lunch here until they kind of finally reconcile. Love it. Natsuki is the first to stand up with her empty drink bottle. Are you coming today? To the club? Yuri nods. I'm sorry for being so awkward. I'm really bad at talking about this stuff. I just can't for some reason, I don't know why. But I want to. Eventually. There's no rush. I promise. Thanks. It's the next day. Natsuki... Oh my god, I called it. Natsuki peers from around the corner and steps up to the vending machine, glancing at Yuri as she does so. Today, she seems to be holding some kind of book as well. Oh, you're here again. Oh, don't change the music. It was perfect. Well, I just came in to read this, but because there aren't many people around here. Oh, I thought you didn't like how quiet it was. Well, I don't, but there's no people here. I see. Natsuki sits down. The mood feels much different today than it did yesterday. But it started off feeling the same, but then it felt really different when the music kicked in. After yesterday's lunch and the club meeting that followed, Natsuki and Yuri are beginning to feel more relaxed around each other again. Although Yuri's letter is still lingering in the back of Natsuki's mind, she continues to detour around it. But it's okay that I'm here? It's okay that I'm here? Yeah, I don't care. I mostly just don't feel like dealing with the crap I get from my friends about it. Especially since, they all just assume I stopped reading manga after I joined the literature club. Not that I'm trying to hide it from them exactly. But I just don't want it to come up again now after I've waited so long for this new volume to come out. Literally months at this point. You don't have other friends who are in the manga? Not unless online friends count. And they don't. And Sayori, but that's different because she's not exactly into it. She just likes it. You know what I mean? Honestly, you're lucky that the books you're into at least just look like books, so you don't have to feel like everyone is constantly judging you by what you're reading. That would be so awful. Especially since I already hate attention so much. Well, it's a good thing I have thick skin, I guess. By the way, I would totally recommend finding some friends online if you haven't already. If you're like me and have no one to share your hobbies with. Oh, I have online friends. Since middle school, actually. I was especially desperate back then. It's somewhat embarrassing to reminisce about these days. About those days. I mean, sometimes I feel like the me from a few years ago would have benefited from a good smack across the face. Sorry, I'm very nervous. No, it's okay, it's whatever. We were all just stupid kids back then anyway. Some of the fanfics I wrote, oh, thank God I used a pseudonym. But I liked it at the time. I got a lot of fulfillment out of it. And plus, I can look back and say with confidence that I've become a better person since then. So I don't think I would change anything. I wonder if a few years from now we'll think the same thing about our current selves. Probably. That doesn't make you uncomfortable? No, of course not. I don't care what other people think of me, especially someone who doesn't even exist yet. Alright, here. Natsuki raises her hand to her face and forcefully slaps her own cheek. That's me from the future, coming to terms with me right now. Also, ow, I didn't mean to do it that hard. Yuri doesn't seem to react. But then, to Natsuki's surprise, Yuri shyly looks the other way before lifting her arm and doing the same thing to herself, loudly smacking her cheek. Aww, that's cute in a really dumb way. She turns red and stares into her lap, but is unable to hide a smile as though it was a really funny joke. Damn, Yuri getting cuter. Oh, that's what I'm talking about. I didn't know you had that in you. I don't. I don't even know why I did that. Maybe I thought it'd be funny? Sorry, I keep distracting you. You said you were looking forward to reading, but I keep going on about all this nonsense. I'll let you get to your reading. Oh, right. Yeah, I guess I'll do that then. She wanted to keep going. Friendship! Friendship! The conversation ends quickly, and Natsuki opens her book. The two read silently for the remainder of the lunch hour. But the whole time, Yuri feels distracted by a twist of regret over having so abruptly forced the end of their conversation. The next day? The next day? You're back. Yeah, I'm here to lay low again. You're not here to lay low. Tsundere, tsundere. Another day has passed. During lunchtime, Natsuki finds herself having wandered to the stairwell once more. Hey, did you buy that? Natsuki quickly notices a bottle of iced tea on the staircase where she normally sits. Tsun, tsun, tsun. Yuri nods, avoiding eye contact. What, like, for me? Luna, you got that? But you didn't know I was coming here today. What if I didn't show up? Well, I mean, I would have drank it myself, I guess. It was a stupid thing to do. No, it wasn't stupid. It wasn't stupid. I just thought... Never mind. What I meant to say is thank you. And that it's a really nice gesture. It's okay if you don't feel that way. I do! It was the other things that I didn't mean. I swear, please believe me. Yuri pauses, then nods. Talking is hard. I get it wrong a lot too. So, I believe you. I can get it. Boop. Natsuki exhales in relief. She then sits down next to Yuri and takes the drink. Knowing Yuri, she was probably overthinking it so much that Natsuki's tepid response filled her with self-doubt. I'll do something nice for you next time. Please don't feel obligated. I want to. I want to do nice things too. Okay. Thank you. You can thank me after I figured out how to do something nice. I'll do it then too. Natsuki sighs. Nothing. It just reminds me how I haven't been getting along with my friends lately. Is that why you've been coming here? Well, no, not exactly. I haven't been avoiding them on purpose or anything. There are just other things I'd rather be doing during lunch lately. Like talking to Yuri. I like being around them when we're all just having fun, but they also just can't take anything seriously. Sorry, I was trying. For some reason, Twitch disabled mod tools for me by default. Needed to reinstall. Huh, weird. So when I'm, I don't know, feeling serious, then their attitudes just really get on my nerves. I'm the exact same way. I never take anything seriously. Something gotten worse ever since I joined the literature club. How come? I don't know. I feel like I used to be really good at just putting up with it, because it would be so stupid to cause drama over a joke I didn't like or something. Aww, she's getting tired of their bullshit. Finally! Her friends are toxic. But I just have a hard time doing that lately. It's my fault for being overly sensitive. If I have a problem, I'm not going to demand for everyone around me to change. But, yeah, I know. Monica and Sierra really don't agree with that kind of thing. But they're not in my position, so it's easy for them to say that you should just communicate your feelings or whatever. It's not like my friend group does that kind of thing. I would just be making an embarrassment of myself. Sorry, none of this has anything to do with you. I don't even know why I'm talking about it. It's okay. I like listening. What? Listening to other people's problems? Yes. That's weird. Sorry. I just like learning about people. Do you think it's weird? No, that's not weird. I probably just misunderstood, so... I don't know. Does that mean I should keep going? Ah. Ears bugging me. Ah. If you'd like. Okay. Well, I don't know what to talk about now. What are some things that you like about your friends? A lot of things. I mean, they're really fun to hang out with, like after school and on the weekends. And they really like my baking. And it's fun to complain about school together. They make me laugh a lot, and we have a lot of good memories and inside jokes. Oh. I'm bad at a lot of those things. So? Are those all things that are important to you? Well, kind of, but they're not things I need to get out of everybody. Everyone in the club is really different from that, but I'm still friends with them too. Well, say we relax your baking, and she makes you laugh, and she complains a lot. That doesn't mean she's anything like that doesn't mean she's anything like my other friends. Well, unlike them, she's a nice person who cares about your feelings. Excuse me? Excuse me? How much you don't talk that way about my friends that you don't know anything about? Natsuki stands up. No, wait! I'm sorry, I didn't mean it. I didn't want to say something bad. Please don't leave. Natsuki sighs and shakes her head. It's fine. As long as you understand that you can't just judge people like that. I'm sorry. She's not wrong, though. Her friends are bitches. Natsuki sits back down. You can't just compare friends like that and, like, measure who's better than who. Everyone's different. I'm sorry. I just don't like people who want to hurt you. Aw. A moment of silence stretches between them. Yuri be the true friend here. They don't want to hurt me. We just like to tease each other about stupid things. It's fun. I don't like that. Well, that's why I'm friends with them and you're not. You like it? It's weird seeing Yuri and Natsuki being nice to each other. I know, right? Also, welcome. You like it? Just don't worry so much about me. It's not worth it. I'm sorry. I wish I knew how to help with social conflicts. Like how Monica can. She's good at these things. Not really. Also, I don't always want help. Sometimes it's just stuff I have to deal with myself. That's what Monica and Sayori never seem to understand. Sometimes all you do is look at them wrong and they're all like, what's wrong? Is everything okay? I just want to mind my own business sometimes and decide myself I want to talk about things. The only one who understands that is you. So you really shouldn't be so hard on yourself. You're not as bad as you think. Oh, you don't need to reassure me or anything. I mean that. Plus, it makes sense that someone who doesn't talk a lot would make a good listener. Thank you. You're also nice. Reject the compliment. It's really hard for me. It doesn't come naturally at all. It's so weird because I always thought of myself as someone who can just say whatever's on my mind. But I feel like that only works when I'm annoyed or upset or I want to say something mean. Why am I like that? You don't have to answer that, I'm just talking to myself. Yuri nods and remains silent. Natsuki notices her fidgeting with the pages of her book. How come you like reading so much? Oh, well, a lot of reasons. Vending machine, yep. Source of iced tea. Well, a lot of reasons. But I just get sucked into it so easily. It's so immersive. Like, I want to be a part of it. I think... So tender. And then ruined. I think there are a lot of things about people in real life that make me feel uncomfortable and frustrated. Especially when it comes to following social conventions and group interactions. Wasn't expecting that. Yeah. Most of the like 100, 150, 200 rewards are like just stuff like that. Especially when it comes to following social conventions and group interactions. I just don't really understand it. And I have no real desire to participate. But it's different with books. I feel it's like I always want to be around the characters. I feel such a strong emotional connection with them in ways that I've never felt with real people. Close your mouth, you're gonna catch flies. So, in that way, it can sometimes feel more real than real life. Really? It's that hard for you to be around people? Like, all the time? Fairly often. Especially in group settings. When people are making all kinds of conversation and saying jokes and all of that, I don't know what to do. I just disengage. Oh. Doesn't get lonely? I don't think so. I can still enjoy spending time with people one-on-one, and I have online friends too, of course. Do you ever wish that you could be friends with the characters in your books? All the time. Sometimes so badly that it makes my heart ache. Yeah. Me too. Really? A lot. Like, more than anything. After Natsuki mutters that, silence fills the stairwell once more. But it's a mutual silence. One full of understanding. Oh, it's so good. It's so good. We're not waiting. Straight into the finale. Finale, here we go. Hey. Oh, hello. I almost thought you weren't coming today. Yeah, well, lunch is already more than halfway over. She went to the library to get a book. Natsuki had typically been meeting Yuri in the stairwell much earlier, since it had been a good way of dodging her friends when she didn't feel like seeing them. Today, she's holding a large plastic container in both hands. I ran into my friends, so I hung out with them for a while. Is that so? Yeah. I was in a good mood today, so I figured I should. I hadn't seen them in a while. Which I had to come up with an excuse for, but I expected that. Plus, I have way more of these than I know what to do with, so I figured I would share with them too. I'm gonna refresh my brain and try that one again. Hi everybody, Seth G from the future here. I gotta turn this down a little bit. So what you just saw was during the stream, I bumped the bottom of my microphone, causing it to flip over, and it made everything in the stream sound like this for 15 minutes because I didn't catch it until 15 minutes after the fact. So yeah, obviously that's unbearably awful. So what I'm gonna do is I'm just going to go ahead and re-record the part of the game that was fucked, and then I will cut back to the stream once we're done. So I get to do this a second time. Yay! Here we go. Plus, I have way more of these than I know what to do with, so I figured I would share them with you. I fucked up that line in the stream, and I fucked it up here, too. Plus, I have way more of these than I know what to do with, so I figured I would share with them, too. As she sits down, Natsuki opens the lid of her container. You made cupcakes. You know it. It's been a while at this point, so I figured it was about time again. You can take one if you want. Yuri takes a cupcake and carefully twirls it between her fingers. It's brown, with dark green frosting immaculately shaped into a floral pattern and topped with some kind of glittery powder. I can talk, I can do words to get today. Maybe I should have warmed up before doing this. Yeah, that would have been smart. How pretty. I just ate, so I may not be able to finish it. Are they for the club? Yeah, I guess so. I didn't really think about it, I just made them. I just thought that because green is Monica's favorite color, right? Well, yeah, but that's not really... Yuri takes a small bite. This is green tea flavored. Y'all. I'm pretty sure I said that same thing during this stream too. I love green tea. Oh, do you? It was just a random idea I wanted to try, so... Don't laugh at me. I'm not. I just felt happy. Oh, sorry. Usually when... Never mind. What I mean is that I'm glad. Sorry for saying dumb things again. I just wanted to do something nice. And this is something I happen to be good at. And I do know that you like them from past experience. Yuri turns red, recalling the time that she treated herself rather generously to Natsuki's cupcakes. Ironically, her mouth is too full of cupcake for her to stammer an excuse, so she just settles for a disapproving look. How did you get into baking? Oh, well, I don't know. It kinda just always appealed to me. Well, a few years ago, I read this one manga with a lot of baking, so I got, like, super into it for a while. I was probably making stuff almost every day. But it's something that I always knew I liked anyway. It's like, baking is like art, but when you get good at it, it gets more delicious, too. I'm struggling to imagine myself putting my heart into something so artistic, knowing that it would just be eaten afterwards. Yeah, maybe you're too practical for it. I think I prefer to be on the receiving end. That's my other favorite part about it. It's something I can do that makes a lot of people happy, like, unconditionally. Everyone was always so thankful, and in that moment, you get to be like the bringer of joy. I don't know, it just makes me feel... valued? Yeah, I guess that. So, you were able to make up with your friends today? There wasn't really anything to make up with them about. We weren't fighting or anything. You weren't? Maybe I misunderstood. It only turns into a fight if I lose my cool, and that's just unnecessary drama. It only makes things worse. So, they're not going to stop? I mean, it only happens sometimes anyway. It's just the way they are. I'm the only one who ever has a problem with it. It's not worth it. Especially since I have somewhere to go now when I don't feel like hanging out with them. Oh, I see. The cupcake's empty foil wrapper audibly crinkles as Yuri clenches a fist. I'm glad that this situation is resolved. And that you don't have to avoid them anymore. Yeah, me too. Oh, it's so sad. And I don't have to bother you during your alone time anymore. I'm sure you have a lot of reading to catch up on. Yeah. Stupid phone. I know that that cupcakes are basically nothing compared to all the stuff you've done for me, but it's the best I can do. So you can have the rest of them. Natsuki grabs the box and slides it over to Yuri's feet. Yuri stares at the box. Then she shakes her head and slides them back. You should save them for your other friends. But I made them for you. Natsuki's voice whines as she protests. I want to do that line over again. But I made them for you! I know. And I like them very much, exactly as you thought. You succeeded. But I know you care about making your other friends happy too. And if this is the way you know how to make that happen, then I'm not going to take it from you. No, they were for making you happy. You make me happy. You're worth more than cupcakes to some people. That's why they want to spend time with you and be your friend. Without warning, tears pour from Natsuki's eyes. She pulls her knees to her chest and starts sobbing into her arms. Natsuki, I'm such a bad person. Yuri stammers, feeling panicked. I didn't mean to say something bad. Natsuki shakes her head and wipes her eyes away. You didn't. Natsuki tries to choke back her sobs, but struggles to speak through them. I just really hate myself sometimes. It feels so wrong when you say those nice things to me. Like I don't deserve it. I'm sorry. No, I am. I'm so difficult. And I can't think of even a single thing about myself that somebody would like. And I hated myself for bothering you during lunch. I just thought it was my chance to be a good person, like to be nice and do the things you wrote about in the letter. I knew if I tried in the clubs here, Monica would be super annoying and make a huge deal out of it. You know, I think a lot of those negative things about I think a lot of those negative things too, about myself. I never felt like a good person. I always scrutinize everything I say, and later I feel like I said all the wrong things. And I just spend so much time thinking about myself, hating myself, and feeling like everyone else must hate me too. So I understand some of that through my own experience. And that's why I wanted to write that letter and express my feelings. It pained me to see those things in someone else that I saw in myself. My brain cannot comprehend that line. It pained me to see those things in someone else that I saw in myself. Natsuki sniffles. Yuri rustles through her bag and pulls out some tissues, then hands them to Natsuki. Monica told me that it takes a good person to reflect on these things. The desire to improve yourself, that makes you a good person. So don't worry so much. Also, there are things about you that people would like, so... Like what? Like how you're fun for people to be around. And you're not shy, and you know how to make people laugh. And you're very passionate about things, and you know how to take the lead. And you care a lot about other people. And just a lot of things. Oh. Well, now you're making me feel really embarrassed. Well, you're the one who asked. And don't you think I feel embarrassed? Natsuki tries to hide a smile. Then, she sighs as it fades again. Every time I come here, I always think it's the last time, but then I keep coming back for some reason. Is that bad? Just really confusing. I mean, my friends and I go way back, so ditching them all the time feels like... I don't know. Feels like what? Natsuki's voice gets quiet. Maybe I'm scared that they'll get mad at me. I really don't know what to do. She pauses. Yuri stares into the distance, tracing her eyes along the patterns of the floor tiles while she thinks to herself. What would you do, hypothetically, if your friends were happy for you instead of mad at you? Happy for what? Happy that your new club is making you happy. Well, that's just not a fair hypothetical. Natsuki says that, but with little confidence in her voice. I always told myself that I don't rely on the approval of others to be happy. And I still feel that way, but I'm spending time with people who put me down whenever I don't have their approval. That's probably what's making me feel so confused. Because I'm threatened out of the things that should make me happy. So no matter what, it's like I have to be unhappy to be happy. It's making my head hurt. That must make it really difficult to feel comfortable with yourself. Being made to feel like you're wrong just for being the person you are. Really goes against everything I believe in, doesn't it? Goes against the kind of person I want to be. I'm fed up with it. I'm fed up with a lot of things. Natsuki presses her palms into her forehead and shakes her head. I know what's best for me, but I keep convincing myself out of it. It's so much easier to be comfortably unhappy than it is to do something so scary. To do what? You know? To end it. With them? Natsuki nods. I didn't think you were actively considering that as an option. I wasn't, until recently. it's just one of those things where, like, it's been a certain way for so long that you just get used to it. Like, so much of you has gone into it, so much that it feels like that's just how your life is. And throwing it away is like throwing away such a big part of your life. It makes me feel sick to think about it. Natsuki sighs. It's just really scary. It's terrifying. What are you scared of? I don't know. A lot of things. Like being alone. Not having anyone to talk to or hang out with. Not being able to replace what I have with them. And I don't want them to hate me. And I'm scared they'll hurt me for going against them. Physically? Not physically, but... Yuri clenches her fists. Natsuki? What? If anyone even thinks to cause you harm, I will unleash hell upon them. Damn. Yuri's going aggro. Yuri Mama Bear. Sierra will throw a desk at them. Natsuki snorts in laughter. Don't laugh at me. Sorry, I like that. Natsuki will remember that. That's all. Oh. Well, I meant it. I know you did. Natsuki gives Yuri an endearing look. I needed it. As the conversation lapses, Natsuki again slides her box of cupcakes over to Yuri. Just take them, okay? I don't want other people to have them anymore. Are you sure? Natsuki nods. I'm sure. I will then. I'll enjoy them. Natsuki looks away, but a feeling of warmth spreads through her. She holds on to that feeling, knowing it will give her courage. Almost there. You're here first today. Mm-hmm. And you brought reading material. Mm-hmm. All right, and that's it. Now back to the stream. Oh, shit. That's why I'm quiet. My microphone flipped over on me, and I didn't realize. That's why I was quiet. Oh God, I'll have to check that back in the VOD. If it's bad, I'll probably just re-record it on my own. Yeah, my microphone was like, it's just way down there that whole time. I didn't even realize. I was just so into the story. I got really into my acting. I got really into character for that. It was pretty bad. How long was it lasting for? Because I could go back and just do it again. It was bad enough that people couldn't hear me. At least since I came in. Yeah, I'll re-record it later when I need to get that one up. 5+ minutes. Yeah, I'll do it later, it's fine. Yeah, I don't want to leave right now. Yeah, in case I can't get out of this now, so. Yeah, when I go to edit these, I'll play through that part again. For the video. Natsuki is sitting in her usual spot, this time holding a volume of manga while her lunch sits beside her. Yuri sits down as well and opens her own book. It sucks when a good series has to come to an end. Like it's such a big part of your life, and then one day there's just nothing left. Makes you feel so empty. Unfortunately, I'm about to experience that myself. I'm on the last book of the series. That sucks. But there's also something satisfying about letting a story conclude. I don't know if I'd want it to go on forever. Maybe. There are some things that I wish could. On the other hand, have you ever read something that overstayed its welcome? Yeah, definitely. This is totally an allegory for my friends. I can think of at least one thing I've read that got pretty unbearable like halfway through and the ending really sucked. So, it sucks when something good has to end, but it also sucks when they just keep inventing more plot until you don't like it anymore. I guess it sucks either way. Well, that's the nature of all things. They come to an end. The two fall silent. They slowly eat while making their way through their respective reading material. Except Natsuki doesn't seem to be touching her food at all. You don't go out during the weekends, right? Excuse me? Like with friends, at the mall or downtown or whatever? I'm not a total shut-in, you know. Oh, my bad for making assumptions. Oh, I'm sure I go out less often than other people, like you and the others in the club. I don't really meet with friends and arbitrarily spend time like that. I'm usually meeting with my board game group. Board game group? It doesn't matter, it's just more nerdy stuff. Why do you ask anyway? I was just curious. I just realized that I couldn't picture it, so I was just curious. Yuri looks at Natsuki and realizes that she's shaking. Don't look at me like that. Sorry. Natsuki pulls her knees into her chest and puts her head down. I can't take this. Did I do something? Yuri gets flustered, her mind racing over what she may have said or done. I did. I ended it. I texted them earlier telling them. And then I just blocked them because I'm so afraid of the responses. And now it feels like I'm dying inside. Oh, that's... I'm sorry. Totally unsure of what to do, Yuri can barely find any words of support to offer. Meanwhile, the sound of Natsuki's unusually hard breathing fills the air. A lot of the people watching right now didn't see it earlier, but we did see Natsuki's friends earlier. They are fucking toxic. They are toxic, terrible people. So this is she might be upset, but this is a very good thing. They had to go. And then she speaks again, barely above a whisper. Help me. I feel sick and I want to hit my head against things. Please help, I can't take this. You may be having a panic attack. With that realization, Yuri's demeanor suddenly changes. I have experience with this, so I'll help you through it, okay? Natsuki meekly nods through her rapid breath, head still buried in her knees. Oh my god, I've been through this. Yuri slides herself over to Natsuki and sits on the step behind her. Then she puts her head on Natsuki's shoulders. Can you feel my hands? I turn British all of a sudden there. Natsuki nods. Her shaking becomes much more apparent through Yuri's sense of touch. Yeah, her friends really messed her up. Yuri keeps her voice low and gentle. You're safe right now. You're in a good and safe place where nothing can hurt you. Natsuki nods once more. Although Yuri is only touching Natsuki's shoulders, she can practically feel her racing pulse to the base of her neck. We'll do a breathing exercise together. All you have to do is listen to my breaths and breathe along with me. Let's breathe in now. Yuri takes a deep, slow breath. Beneath her hands, she feels Natsuki's shoulders rise as Natsuki takes a breath of her own, trying to mimic Yuri. They exhale together, although Natsuki's breath shakes on the way out. That's good. Let's keep going. Yuri breathes in once more, and Natsuki joins her. I don't know if I can actually read through this, actually. Rough memories? It's very heavy. It's very heavy. It's almost... I would say it's just as heavy, if not heavier, than some of the stuff we had in Blue Skies. They continue like that for a few more cycles, while Yuri closely monitors. Eventually, Yuri feels Natsuki rest more of her weight into Yuri's palms. Let's focus on the physical world. All you have to do is focus on the feeling of your breaths going in and out, and the weight of my hands on your shoulders. You're in a safe and comfortable physical space. Minutes pass in silence. By now, the worst of it has passed, but Yuri is determined not to move away until Natsuki prompts her to. Meanwhile, Natsuki has lifted her head off her knees, and her breathing has mostly steadied. Then, she takes a final deep breath and slowly pulls herself to her feet, causing Yuri to let go. She stretches her arms. I'm sorry, I didn't mean to freak you out. To freak out. I don't know what my deal is. You don't have to apologize. This must be enormously stressful for you. Is that going to keep happening? It may, or it may not. We can take measures to help prevent it in the future, but I think it will naturally get better over time. Natsuki motions to sit back down again, so Yuri moves over. Yuri turns away to pick up her own open book from the dusty floor, which she had hastily set down earlier. She brushes the dust off the cover. I don't think I could have gotten through that alone. You're not alone. Feeling shy again, Yuri speaks into her own lap. From now on. Oh, that's such a good line! You don't have to do anything alone. As she says that, Yuri tenses up. It's rare for her to so openly share her thoughts. But something about Natsuki, of all people, makes it feel so much more natural to do so. Perhaps because, like Yuri, Natsuki is so timid and uncertain of herself. Natsuki does such a good job at hiding it that it's taken a long time for Yuri to finally realize it. And because of that, Yuri is able to deliver the reassurance that she herself would have wanted. Demonstrating that you deserve the love of others. If you can accept that for the first time, then perhaps you can begin the tumultuous journey of learning to love yourself. Aww. Do you really mean that? You're probably gonna regret saying that if you do. How so? Because I'm probably gonna have a lot of free time during the weekends from now on. So you're giving me permission to be as annoying as I want and drag you around to a lot of places. I see. You already said it, so you can't take it back now. Well, I suppose I have no choice but to accept that responsibility then. Mm-hmm. I know a good ice cream place. Oh? That means you'll finally figure out my favorite flavor of ice cream. Huh? What are you talking about? Oh, you don't remember? The first day that you came to the club, you guessed everyone's favorite ice cream flavor, but for me, you said you had no idea. Seriously? I don't remember that at all. Oh, wait, yes I do. I said it was probably green tea. Yuri shakes her head. Gasp! It's a good guess, but my favorite is usually to get chocolate and raspberry together. Chocolate and raspberry? How fancy. How is that fancy? Oh, I don't know. I feel like I should have guessed something like that. Well, maybe next time I'll try chocolate and strawberry. Hey, strawberry's my favorite. What a coincidence. She is good at this, damn. I think it helps to have something to look forward to. Still have this sick feeling in my stomach. But it's easier now to convince myself that I did the right thing. Is there anything better I could be doing? Not that I know of. There's nothing that'll make this easy for me. You already did more than I thought anyone could. Come to think of it, we never talked about the letter you wrote. But I feel like we're way past that at this point. I don't even know what to talk about. Except that I think it helped me understand my needs a little bit better. The way I like to be treated. And the kinds of friends that I want to have. That's why I wanted to start coming here in the first place, even though I was so scared of causing more problems. I thought it was a coincidence you ran into me here initially. Oh, well, not exactly. What do you mean? Nothing. I may have tracked you down first. With the help of Sayori. You said? I was shy, okay? I wasn't ready to, like... Whatever, you know what I'm saying. Well... I guess I'm glad that you worked up the courage. Even if it was in your own way. I can tell you've been making a lot of difficult decisions. It's brave, and it will make things better in the long run. I think anyone would be proud of you for it. Anyone? You mean like you? Yes. Is she about to cry too? Yes. Like me. You know, I could get used to this. As long as you don't tease me too much. Fine. Just a little then. That's fine. I know how uncertain everything feels to you right now. But I really do think that good things are in store. Those are my honest feelings. Thanks. It feels nice to be reassured. Aww. The two girls continue their conversation through the remainder of lunch. But a new feeling hangs in the air. A feeling of greater certainty in their path forward. In just a few hours, there will be another literature club meeting where the 4 club members will happily spend time together. Each of them, all with their own special qualities, have something unique that they can deliver to one another. Through friendship and literature, the club members will continue to grow and find new happiness together. Damn it, noobs. The end of each chapter is the start of the next. Yuri thinks to herself. Since she's about to finish her long-running series, it would be best to have a new book lined up. Perhaps this weekend would be a good time to visit the bookstore. Together. Oh, I love this game. Oh, it's so good. There's more!